Hello and welcome into another edition of the Big O Show starring Orestes Destrade. What's up, my friend?
Bro, I'm tranquil and tropical, man. Good to be back on. Was here for a little bit of the last part of your show. You had a killer show.
That was fun tonight, wasn't it?
Great guests, and JP Peterson rocks it always. We've had a good week, man. We had a great event Tuesday night. We've got special guests today, and we do. And school is back on for the Rays and the rest of the MLB. Summer is over. It's a quick summer break for MLB, like 4 days, and get right back at it.
Nick Martinez got saved from going to Disney with his children in July by making the All-Star team. That has to be the biggest perk of all time for an All-Star.
To not go to Orlando in July.
Sorry, kids. Daddy's got to go to the All-Star game.
So I don't know.
When are we going to Disney? January.
Yes.
When it's not 1,000 degrees.
After the World Series.
That was good. We'll have some special guests stopping by today.
We do. Yeah. We got a couple really cool guys from back in the day. One from really back in the day in my era. and a surprise one.
Really back in the day, my era.
Oh, shit.
So these exploits of my high school activities that I've lied about for 20 years.
In the day down in
now
Hollywood,
today you find
Florida.
the truth. Yeah. So we'll get to that in just a little bit. How are you, partner?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Looking forward to the second half. When you just break it down, it's like I said, school's back on. Quick break for MLB and then for the Rays. Listen, they've got a tough start right off the second half because they're going right up against the AL East. They're going to go right up against, dare I say, the Boston RedHots. Not the Red Sox, the RedHots.
Where'd they come from?
They came out of 9 straight wins, and they're trying to make some hay out there because, listen, they were a bit abysmal all season long, but now 9 straight, they're trying to sneak back in there. When you're looking at an American League all around where you only have 5 teams that are playing over 500, the wild card's going to be wild. You know what I mean? So there's going to be, in the next 2.5 months, the jockeying is going to be nuts.
Yeah.
And then you want to try to, not only make the playoffs, but win your division and hopefully have the best record. The Rays right now sit in that position. By the way, 2.5 months left. The rest of their schedule, it's 3rd easiest in the American League.
Oh, it is? I did not know that.
488 average winning percentage of what's left to play.
What's weird about that is in this weird season is in the Red Sox are a perfect example of that. They've won 9 in a row, and you're like, wow, but they sucked before. They weren't supposed to suck.
They were not supposed to suck.
So
Toronto,
their underperformance for
100%.
Toronto, too,
massively
was the anomaly.
Yeah.
Now they're actually getting back to who they should be.
Sure.
Which when you say, 30 is easiest schedule, that's based on the first half record, which
it's a great point.
I think we can just say that Toronto and Boston are better teams than they've shown.
Oh,
the Yankees
100%.
will get healthy.
Yeah.
So it may look like an easy schedule in terms of the numbers now, but these will be and plus all of these teams are not going to stand pat at the deadline. They're all going to load up.
And here it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the trade deadline, so much. I think is going to be a frenzy of trades coming up and happening because when you have this much parity, you're going to have, well, maybe we can compete. Yeah. I might give up this kid from AA or AAA, or I might give up somebody and here you go jockeying around. And there's going to be some moves. Do I think there'll be some dramatic moves? Obviously, Tarek Skubal is the big name out there because Detroit, who has been 22-13 since June 1st, best record in the American League since June 1st. But they have to trade Tarek because you look at it and you go, are we making the World Series? Are we winning the World Series? I mean, unless you're thinking that you're going to win the World Series, you can't lose that player for nothing and do a Shohei Ohtani of the Angels where they got
Squadoosh. They got Squadoosh.
And so Tarek's going somewhere. Other big names out there. You got Peralta with the Mets, who's not having his normal season, but I think you get to the right. That's an interesting trade, by the way. And you never know if the Rays, try to do something because Peralta's one of these guys. Freddie's one of these guys that if you get him straight again and you get him socketed, and in fact, we have a guest that could probably talk about getting in the right socket and getting the right arm angle because they say that he's dropped a little bit. First time with the Mets, new pitching coaches that they brought on to the Mets this year. So everything was first. Peralta goes down, down, down. He goes to the right place, gets him right. This dude's an all-star.
And the Rays have been linked to him.
Oh,
they're linked to Scuball. They're linked to Ketel Marte, who we talked about a lot on your last show.
Jeffers, catcher for Minnesota that the Yanks want also. Oh, you know what's
Adley Rushman's name? Adley Rushman's name is mentioned because
that one.
Rasmussen, they were battery mates at Oregon State.
How about that?
As was Baker, and now
Adley Rushman.
How would he fit in?
I think
with the Rays,
phenomenal.
Proves their defense dramatically right away.
He's swinging the bat well this year after having double injuries last year to the obliques, one side, both sides.
Yeah,
he suffered through. So he's healthy, dude. But that's in division, bro. You're gonna get an in-divisional trade like that in the middle of the season. That's an off-season type trade.
Yeah,
I don't know about that one, but another big name that could be interesting, that could affect the Rays, is Mason Miller with going to the Yankees.
Oh God, no.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes, like real seriously being talked about.
You can't hit off that guy.
No. And you forget, you think that he's been around longer, but he's only 27.
Yeah.
And
unhittable at times.
And the Padres may want to, re-ante up and try to get something for Mason, but what would that do to the Yankees back end bullpen?
Well, and that's the whole thing. It's yes, this is a mediocre AL right now. There's no question about that, but it's not going to stay the same.
I don't think so.
And the fact that it is mediocre means there's probably going to be way more sellers than buyers.
Yeah.
So we look at these teams right now and we try to, who's good, who's not. These teams are going to look so different in a month.
I think so.
Like dramatically different in a month.
3 weeks.
Yeah. And what will the Rays look like?
Listen, they should go after a catcher. There's a lot of talk about wanting to get, and rightfully so, somebody to defend the tremendous trio, as I call them, in Yandy, Aranda, and Junior. Thank the good, whatever deity you like, for Yandy not breaking his finger on that All-Star game pitch. Thank goodness, right? But how do you defend him? Is Luis Ariz the guy? I'm not saying. Listen, I'm a fan.
We got singles hitters.
No. Let's give just due to Luis. He is another level of a singles hitter.
Yes, he is.
He's an uber level of.
But if you're going to give up a bunch of prospects,
but if you're trying to protect that, then that's why Ketel makes so much sense.
I know.
You take care of everything. You need second base. You can't go after really, and might break it down, Joe Adell, because then you break up the synergy of like a guy like Valade, who's actually doing a pretty decent job. Johnny DeLuca, I'm pleased with. Somebody has to go there then, right? Because you got Valade, Johnny DeLuca. You got obviously Mullins has been pretty damn good the last month. I go after that second base situation. That's mediocre, and go after catcher and go after a starting mid pitcher or a stud like Peralta.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I've seen people say, "Oh, the Rays will do the same thing they always do."
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I do not.
I think there's a new sheriff in town with this ownership group,
and giving good directions and more. The leashes spread out farther than ever before to Eric Neander, and you give Eric Neander a longer leash. He's very creative.
Yeah,
and he's got the hammers in the young bloods down there.
He's got tons of prospects to work with.
So much diversity, like stars, multiple stars in different positions, multiple pitchers, multiple shortstops, multiple catchers. I mean, all the things that teams want.
Mm-hmm.
He's got it in multiplicity. So that's pretty damn good.
I think they'll have a little bit more leeway in adding payroll as well. Which Neander's always been handcuffed in that way.
Of course.
I'm not saying they're going out and adding some guy that's making $40 million, but they'll add a Ketel Marte if that's a deal that can be made.
100%.
Yeah.
He ushers in the new stadium and all that, which, by the way, when are you going to have a show that's going to be talking about all the stuff?
That's a good. How about we do that tomorrow?
How about you break that down?
Let's do that tomorrow.
There's some rumblings going on this week.
We need an update.
You need an update because some people are throwing some little monkey wrenches in, like, I don't know if the city,
the fleecing of the taxpayers.
whoa.
No, that was Miami. We're not doing that.
That was Miami.
We're not doing that. We're doing this as a totally different deal.
Corrupt.
It's the misinformation just is comes hot and heavy, and the closer we get to it, and I think a lot of it's very much funded by some of these other markets that would love to get the raise.
Yes.
Orlando, talking to you.
Yeah.
Nashville, Raleigh, sure, they want to see this deal get tanked. They're on social media trying to put up all this bullshit, and we know what that's all about.
I've got a call in. We're talking to a very good friend of mine who went to my high school a few years after us, but what a strong alumni we have with Columbus and that alum. And his name is Rafael Cutie. And Cutie is the CEO of Miami International Airport. And they just added $9 billion in renovations they're going to do and make this.
I think it's actually 14. I saw it.
Well, 9 is its total is going to be 14.
It's huge.
The next tranche that they approved of the 14 was 9. And then all the other things that are going on. I'm telling you, they're not really all happy that Tampa, if they pull this off, right. I mean, we're pulling people over here.
Yeah, we become, and I think we've already become Miami. Miami's become unlivable almost.
Miami's Miami, Miami's New York, Miami's LA. But there's certain things about the other cities around those other big boys that we start becoming attractive.
Yeah. And this if you build this a $10 billion project with 8 million square feet, including an iconic baseball stadium, a new college, and all the other entertainment features that are going to go around it, you become the destination where when the 45 million tourists that come to Tampa St. Pete every year turns
into
they're not going right to the beach. They'll be like, oh, we could spend a little time here.
Miami and Orlando might be feeling a little threatened. They've never been threatened before.
That's right.
They might be feeling.
Well, Orlando will always be Mickey Mouse. Miami's an international city, but I think we're on the cusp of something really big here. Yeah. And there's a faction of people in Tampa, the old timers, that don't want to grow, but that ship has sailed. Yeah, it has sailed, and now it's time to manage your growth and invest in your growth, or just let it become completely dysfunctional. And that's really at the core of what this is all about. And sorry to all the old timers, but it's Charlie Miranda. But it's time to move forward. And do this. All right, our first guest today is a longtime friend of mine, going back to my high school days.
How about that?
And he played for the Chicago White Sox, yes, and before. That's right. We go back to middle school. Joe, you may not know this, but on our show, we have this running gag of me, being a all-star at every sport in fourth grade at Hollywood Hills Elementary and Olson Middle School. Because I was phenomenal in every sport. As I got older, maybe a little bit more ordinary, but I still lie about those days. So bringing you on is really not in my best interest, because now we're going to get the actual real story.
People that know the name Danny McManus, they
there you go.
He was your backup.
That's right. That's right.
State,
what?
You didn't know this?
Backup.
Taught him everything he knew.
Yeah, Danny.
Or not.
Yeah, Danny used to carry the water behind John. So when he was, needed something.
Danny was basically like going after him and going, John, what can I do for you, John?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you teach me a couple of things?
And they said, watch what he does and don't do that.
There's many ways to learn. There's many ways to learn.
You're both going to go to Florida State, but one's going to do a little.
He followed me there, clearly. Yeah,
clearly.
That's Joel McEwen, a longtime friend, pitched with the White Sox in the late 80s. And I'm going to tell you folks here, these are the two best storytellers I've ever met in my life. You guys tell baseball stories, but we could do this, open up the bar
and just tell stories.
And we should do a Peterman night. We'd just bring you two guys in and a couple of your friends and just tell baseball stories that probably shouldn't be on the public airwaves anyway.
Some of them,
the really good stuff.
We'll even tell a few true ones.
Yeah. But no, why ruin it? We're better embellished than true. So anyway, I have no idea where this is going to go, but we're just going to sit here and talk baseball all day long.
Joel. So it's good to see you again, brother. And I know how connected you are to this man over here. I mean, when I've got 3 really close friends that I've stayed friends with to this day, that I grew up since middle school, and those ties are you can't almost unwind them, because especially when you tie in sports, family and all that, but you have this connection of having grown up playing sports. just give me a little, background. And I'm not without like how good JP was. Just
No, we don't
how neat that was, and it's neat that you guys have stayed friends all these years. And give me the rundown of. I know how my Miami was back in the day. How cool it was to grow up in Hollywood. How good of talents came out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, JC used to be the way to go.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Both of you guys
Dade
went
North,
to junior college.
Yes, sir.
Dade North, Dade Central, Dade South.
Yes.
There was nothing better.
No.
I mean, University of Miami didn't want to play Dade
No,
North
sir.
or Dade South because we beat them.
Yeah.
And then that would go when we
Demi Maneri.
Oh yeah, Doc.
Doc.
And then his son ends up in LSU.
He had
running
incredible Paul Maneri.
Yeah.
He coached me in high school. Paul did.
Oh yeah.
Paul and Jim Henry were my high school coaches at youngsters at 25 years old. They were the high school coach at Columbus. But yeah, I mean, it was so much talent in South Florida. And, it must have been a blast.
Name some of those players that came up.
John Peterson. I mean, some of them went and they decided to do, broadcasting.
Yeah.
If you can't hit the curveball, you go into broadcasting, baby.
I think Dade North, we had 9 guys drafted.
Yeah.
Some of our guys that didn't start were drafted.
Yeah.
How about that?
The talent and what people don't realize, the junior college in Florida, Arizona, mostly Florida, Arizona, Texas, and California was so incredible in the 80s and 90s because guys wanted to get drafted, but you were stuck if you go to a 4-year school, you got to do 3 years or 21. So the talent that, I mean, I geared up against Jody Reed, Glenn Davis at Manatee. I mean, studs. We ended up beating them, by the way, and went on to state. But it's just formidable. But South Florida, no disrespect to Tampa, which is massive, but we all three here have a passion for what great players were coming out of South Florida in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, back then, Tampa was.
They were grooming. They were coming.
They
were all more of. Believe it or not, I think Tampa then took over 80s and 90s, and what you get from Doc and Chef. Magadan, and those guys, they revitalized themselves. McGriff,
Tino Martinez,
Luis Gonzalez. But that 70s and 80s drift, I think, was just massive. And from basically from Fort Lauderdale all the way down.
Palm Beach
JC
was always very good.
Yeah.
Robbie Thompson, the second base.
Yeah.
A lot of years in.
Yeah.
He was there. Hitting the hell out of the ball early.
So when you were playing, you played Legion ball back then there?
Legion
and you
ball,
played
little Connie Mack.
Right.
I used to
Was he really that good in when he was 11, 12, 13? Because he tells me stories
I could hit.
that he could hit and he could run.
Well, no, it took him, what was that year? About 13, 14, he dropped all the weight.
Yeah, I was a
Until
fat
then, he
kid.
was a little fat
I
kid.
was a fat kid. I was 154 pounds in 6th grade.
Dude.
Yeah,
it was
he
enormous.
a little pudgy little guy.
Yeah.
But I was still a good athlete. So when I dropped the weight, I was like,
But he also played football and he was pretty good.
Yeah, it was actually football was quarterback, but basketball he actually
Really?
Basketball
He
without
never
being able,
talks about his basketball.
being able
Always
to
baseball, football.
without being able to jump. He could
Like he had like a 2-inch
That was
vertical.
it. But he knew he had all the
He had the shots. He knows the plays.
Yeah,
He was like, what's that guy that the Lakers are going to pick up now with the glasses that they call him?
that guy.
Yeah.
The dorky white guy.
The dorky white guy.
Dorky white guy. Yeah.
That was you?
Yeah, that was me.
Very talented, knew the court, knew the game.
Yeah.
So you always knew the game. See, that's the one thing. That's what makes him a great journalist.
What was my nickname in high school?
Pistol.
Pistol Pete.
He knew the game.
Yeah.
He knew all the games
Well,
and
no,
all
that's
the
because he
ins
was
and
in a
outs.
shoot as soon as he got the ball.
That was just like Maravich.
His range was inbounds, in range.
Exactly.
And I'm so old. And back then, we didn't even have the 3.
Just shot.
But that's where I shot from. Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Did
Absolutely.
you play basketball? You play other sports?
Very little basketball.
No, we were on Olsen Middle.
Yeah,
we
but I realized-
you had a sweet little left-hand stroke from the corner. Yeah.
Yeah. When I realized the guys were going by me awfully quick, I was like, I can't keep up. I realized.
So you're pretty much strictly a baseball guy.
Well, football.
Oh,
No,
you
he
played
played. He was a really good
I love
linebacker, and then
football.
his
Oh, really?
dad and you got hurt in your junior year, and your dad said, "That's it."
Yeah, I love
My dad said
football.
that's it to basketball too. He's
Yeah.
like, he said, listen, you're going to be a baseball player. That's
But-
where your goal
Well,
is.
when you're playing linebacker at 170 pounds, and you're slow, I love to hit if I could catch him.
and you're slow.
Yeah, if I could catch him, I'd hit him, man. I love that.
And
It's
then
never
here comes
better.
Northwestern, and you're like, I don't want to play them.
Oh yeah. Remember what was Jesse Bendros? ended up
Jesse
playing at
Bendros.
Houston.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And he was a receiver, and he ran over me. I
Yeah,
was like, okay,
yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
James Jones
James
who played for the Lions
James
and University of
Jones.
Florida. Yeah, they kicked. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
I remember playing basketball against Buster Rhymes, who played for Oakland, and he played basketball at Northwestern, and ran over me on the basketball court, and I was good, and he was like, boom, dunked over me and stuff. I'm like, and then I found out this was like way less is better sport.
Yeah.
Like the dude was an incredible running back, and ended up playing in the NFL. We had some athletes back then, bro.
Well, I always wonder which way it would have gone if I'd have played at Florida State with that short right field porch. I might have been a first baseman.
Yeah,
the circus tent.
I was at Dade North. It was 335 down
dude,
the
it was
line,
legit at
390
Dade North.
in the alleys,
Legit.
10 to center.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Florida State had basically a Fenway net in right field, and it was probably 310 down the line and 350 to the alley, if that. Yeah, that's when Ledbetter and some of these other guys.
Ledbetter.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you a quick story about Jeff Ledbetter. So him and I signed at the same time because he's a couple years older. He signed out of Florida State. I signed out of 1 year of JC, and we ended up meeting in our first year of minor leagues. And all I had ever heard was Jeff Ledbetter. Dude, the guy. Here was the thing: certain guys can't hit with a wooden bat.
Yeah,
and it crushed him.
Yeah.
So going from the aluminum to the wood, so I see this guy in the minor leagues, and for the first couple of years, I ran into him, and it was like he couldn't hit. He was done in a couple of 3 years.
Yeah, but he and Sorrento too, Paul Sorrento.
They crushed. Ledbetter had like 40 home runs one year.
Yeah, but Ledbetter, we got him right. I was playing instructional league, and he signed. He went straight to instructional league, and he grabbed that wooden bat, and we were all
waiting to see.
Yeah, well, we were all the same way. This guy's hitting home runs, and you got to pitch him a little carefully, and then all of a sudden you start snapping his bat, cracking it,
and he did not adjust.
He'd still, if you made a mistake, he'd still.
Oh no, the dude had to swing. He had to swing,
had to swing,
but some guys, what happens, I think, and now it's changed because they actually have wood bat leagues. We didn't have, if you weren't smart enough back in the 80s and stuff to train with wooden bats when you're not playing your amateur ball. But I was fortunate enough that I had some guys. I wanted to ask you about that because, I was really lucky. I was in a neighborhood and in an area in Miami, very middle classy, but ball players used to come back to Miami. So I had some, not the superstars, but I had some guys that were Cuban players that made their home in Miami in the offseason, and they were nice enough to come and train with us. Chico Fernandez was one of them. And one of the first things at 13 or 14 that he told me is like, that aluminum bat that we're practicing with, put that away. I see potential for you. Here's a wood bat. And I started swinging wood bats since I was 12, 13, 14 years old. So the transition was easier. Did you have somebody at the level that you ended up pitching in the big leagues? Who was like your mentors?
My dad.
Amen, bro.
And, and then I was just dumb enough to not realize.
Lefty. He's a real lefty.
Yeah, I was just dumb enough to realize. I didn't realize anybody was better. I just assumed I was going to get everybody out because I was supposed to. And then my dad told me, he said, you just get the guy out. Oh, okay.
No way.
And,
who taught you the split finger, the forkball?
That goes back to a coach like when I was about 10 years old before I moved to Florida. And he said, at that age, I was throwing the ball pretty hard. He said, you need something to slow it down to give a change up. So he started putting it in my fingers.
Right.
At 10 years old?
10
Splitting your fingers.
Wow.
Yeah.
I started throwing it. And it was a change up. And then when I was about 13, I threw it and the ball went, I went, ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
What was that? And then I had to learn how to move it
right.
each way.
Because you had like yours had a lot of movement.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the darty split that some guys throw now. It's more the depth.
Yeah.
The bottom dropped out.
They throw more of a splitter.
Yeah. So like, So I don't think people realize. See,
there's your camera over there.
No,
Yeah,
I
that
put
one
mine in like that.
That is what people don't realize
Most
because
of the guys throw it here.
exactly. So that pitch darts.
Yeah, this
that
it
one
it tumbles.
Tumbles. Yeah.
Tumbles.
People have no idea what a difference that is.
Yeah.
And if
None.
and then you could. I learned. It took a long time to learn it, but then if you want to throw this change up, I just locked my wrist.
You locked it.
Lock my wrist and aim at the plate,
so
I
then
wouldn't
so
float
then
up
it
too
would
high.
just.
And then if you wanted to break it as a slider,
Dude,
you
what
throw
a
it
nasty
here.
pitch.
And then if you just threw it normally, it would. usually cut
Having
off.
played 5.5 years in Japan, I always said that the Japanese pitchers came out of the womb and their parents split their fingers, but not for split fingers, for fork balls, because they're more known for the true fork what you threw.
Yeah.
And when I first got over there, I hadn't really faced that many guys in the United States, in minor leagues or big leagues, that really dominated that pitch that well. The split was what I was used to. Dude, I get over there and these guys, the ball's just like every other guy threw it. And
when you played third base and he was pitching and you get to 2 strikes and you know it's coming,
was done.
I could go take a piss. Didn't matter.
Literally turn around in the infield. You could turn around and
you'd
go,
be sleeping by the 4th inning. The ball ain't coming over here. There ain't no fucking chance.
Talk about a fucking third baseman. The first time I faced Winfield, and I just saw him the inning before.
What a
hit
presence.
a line drive to center that handcuffed Cangelosi. He hit it so hard.
Yeah.
And I got on there, and people forget how big.
You have people have no idea.
And Fisk would stand up behind him. He was
6'4".
And the umpire, I turned to Timmy Hewlett playing third, and I looked at Timmy. I said, "Hey, did they move them closer to me?" I said, "Hey, man," I said, "here's what's going to happen. He's hitting it at you. I'm throwing him slow fork balls on the inside half. He's not coming back
He's
out."
going to hook it. Because
the first 2 times he faced me, he grounded out once to Timmy and once to Ozzie again. And I just told him, I said, I am not throwing him anything hard away or anything slow away. He might kill me.
Man,
he hit the ball hard up the middle, man. I mean, he
mentored me a lot because I was one of the top farm guys there from A-ball, AA, triple. So I was always at big league camp for years until I finally got up. So he would take me under his wing after practice, during practice. But the force that he presented on a baseball field, as the only other guy that I've come across happens to play for the Yankees is Judge is now, because as big. Even Frank Thomas, who is wide and built like an offensive guard, it was different. Winfield had this and when he
whip of that back.
Dude, and how he set up, he would always clean the dirt, because I do a great impression of the way he hit, and he would look at you and he kind of forked the bat at you, and I always thought, because I literally was in a game where you're talking about that he hit one to center, that he hit Tony Fernandez in the knee at shortstop, playing deep short, and it went into left field on a line, and Tony had no chance to react, and one of the best hands during that era. And I said, if this guy hits one back up the middle, he will kill a pitcher.
I'm telling you, Kanji was playing, I'd say medium, if not deep center. And it got on him in such a hurry. He had to play hockey goalie.
He played like a catcher.
And our bullpen's right behind it. I was like, wow.
Wait a second. No sinkers to this guy.
No.
I always thought a righty, like a slider, a low slider, that he would just do that one hand. And if he hit the pitcher in the head, it'd be over. It'd be sad, but it'd be true.
Well, like I said, when I saw guys like that, because I used to watch, I played with Harold Baines, and Harold would come back up the middle.
He did hard. Yeah. That leg kick.
Yeah, I'd look at him come back up the middle.
Well, I ain't doing that. You're not throwing him a slider.
And I mean, I pitched away, and I got hit everywhere.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
That's the one thing I wanted to ask a pitcher, and I've asked before, but I still am befuddled because I hit a couple of guys, and it shocked me, and I hit the ball hard. But I'm like, how do you talk a little bit about when you release that ball and how much you have to psych yourself out?
You can't think about it.
You just can't think about it.
It never happens as far as when you're throwing it.
Right.
Except for, like I said, when I saw
Winfield, you said, I'm not going there.
When I said I won't do it. But everybody else, you don't think about it.
You don't think about it.
And then when you get hit, it's such a quick reaction.
Right.
That I got lucky one day. It hit me on the wrist and gave myself a black eye. It was going to hit me in the face, and I got my hand up just in time.
Holy cow.
Gave myself a black eye, and they came out, and they kept throwing my hand to the side to check my face, and I'm going,
I'm going to tell you another guy you played with that I was always a big fan of, and I actually got to play with him a little bit with the Yanks, and that's Jack Clark. Did you come across with the Cardinals?
Not with Jack.
No, Jack might have been gone already. Oh yeah, he was early 80s.
Yeah.
He had moved on to the Yankees, but he had a fierce swing and dramatic, and he hit the ball up the middle really hard.
The time I saw you pitch, and we went up to Yankee Stadium, which in 1987 wasn't full all the time, but we watched you pitch, and you struck out Mattingly, Winfield, and may have been Pagliarula. Like
Might have
1,
been
2.
Easler.
Yeah.
Easler was
The hitman.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
Reverend.
He didn't like. He was one guy.
Because he probably dropped a lot of these.
Yeah.
Throw it from down
Yeah.
here.
When you see your high school buddy in Yankee Stadium do
Those
that,
are
bro,
three great hitters.
that was pretty special.
And
Yeah.
then the best part is that night we went out in New York, and I never went to the front of the line, and
Right.
he's like, "I'm you tonight." So he used my name.
Use his name. I just pitched in the game today. With the
And he
Yankees.
we
Yeah,
got
that's-
through all the lines. He's like, "I got this." I'm
That's
like,
John
"Ah, I
J.P.
don't wanna use
Peterson.
it."
That he is not.
I was like, no, I think as I remembered, I was like, I'd walk you up to the front of the line, and the guy was like, what? And I go, did you watch the Yankee game today? You go, yeah. You made that lefty that came in and struck out Winfield and Mattingly and Eastern in a row. He goes, yeah, that guy fucking sucked, man. That's him right there. Like, can we get in? He goes,
I'm his agent.
he was like, much respect.
Much respect.
Let us in. Let us in. Yeah.
Pistol.
Yeah.
I'll tell one more story. This is how good a friend Joe McEwen was. So late in the season, I'm trying to make the All-Star game, at Rotary Park, and Joe's on the mound. I'm playing for another team. And, typically they'd be, up 12-0 on us every time.
Throwing a 3-hitter.
And I'm like, you get a hit off Joe McEwen, and I'm on the cusp of making the All-Star team. My dad wasn't there that could, politic for me in the room.
Right.
So I had to have some good numbers to get on the All-Star team. So I was one of the leading hitters, but and so I'm like, come on, Joe. And I go, just, if he goes, all right, if I rub my leg, if I put my hand down my leg, I'm going fastball.
No.
And it goes, and then he gave me all the signs. I'm like, cool. So, but this story gets better. So they're up. So, and he's, just devastating forkball on everybody. So I get up there. He gives me the fast. We're going through the at bat. Now it's like the at bat's like, I think it's 3-1. It's 3-1. I had this asshole of a manager, and I look up at him, and I'm probably the best hitter on our team. He gives me the take sign. Joe's telling me he's throwing me a fastball.
No.
And my manager's guy, he's giving me a take. So I step out. He comes out and he goes, take the pitch. I go, and I couldn't tell him that I couldn't tell my manager.
I'm feeling really good.
So I just get back in the box. He points and he throws me a fastball, and I hit it up the middle for a single. And my freaking manager takes me out of the game when I get to first base because I didn't take the pitch. And so I'm like,
dude,
what are you gonna do? But is that a friend? Is that a friend?
That's
I mean,
a
I don't think
friend.
he had a no-hitter going that day, so it was okay. It wasn't ruining
two
anything.
things out of that story. That's a friend, and that's actually a really good manager because Joe was dealing the whole league, and if you get him to 3-1, you want your guy to take,
right? Of course,
you can get a guy on.
He got
still had to hit it. I wasn't going to put it down the middle, so at least tell him what's coming. So
give him a little.
I still had to hit it. Even the fastball would run away too, so it was hard to get to.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's
but
awesome, man.
That's how good a friend he is. But yeah, I watched him do that in Yankee Stadium, and that was
how neat. What an experience that
was
is,
awesome, man.
Yeah,
it was awesome. Yeah. It's and when you have someone that makes it to the big leagues, like all your friends, if we followed him through his travails of minor league baseball, which is probably your best stories. Right? The Glens Falls stories are probably some of the best.
I played against Glens Falls
and Buffalo.
Yeah, I played at Buffalo.
The old rock pit.
No. I actually I ushered in the new stadium, Pilot Field.
I played there once, but I was in the
old one. I heard about the old one.
Oh, my goodness.
It was horrendous.
You talk about right field. Right field was, I think it was 272.
Yeah,
down the right field line.
Good
and the
God.
foul pole was on the field. So one of the funniest things, I'm trying to think of the guy's name. A little shortstop hits a ball against me, and I jam him. He goes down the right field line, and it makes it into the thing. Our right fielder reaches for the ball, and he gets stuck between the pole and the wall,
trying to get the ball.
And he's about this far away from it.
And he's trying to grasp the ball.
He's trying to grab it, and he just can't. And he can't believe it.
And the dude's running around.
So finally, he figures out, okay, so he backs out, goes around the pole, picks it up. I gave up a triple to right field with the right field fence being 272 feet. And all you could do was laugh. I'm sitting there
That's
looking
the
at it
minor
going,
leagues,
that's the
bro.
funniest damn thing
That's
I've ever seen. Yeah.
Man, you remember Utica? Did you ever play in
I
the?
didn't play Utica,
Okay,
no.
okay. Utica had a weird ass stadium.
You also were in. I love your story on McGuire and Canseco. The fans will love this story. You guys split the spring training, right, with them?
We did when you'd go in to play them,
right?
We'd go in to play them, and then somebody on their team was very good artist.
I got you.
He
left
drew
you a little painting.
He drew a nice picture, but it was of Canseco with his ass out, a nice syringe, and it was dripping, and it had this, and it was like.
Thank you.
And you went in, and if you ever playing?
No, because I was always with the Grapefruit League with all the three teams I played with.
People don't remember how bad the stadiums used to be
before
they.
Was it Scottsdale?
No, it was the old Phoenix Stadium,
Phoenix, okay.
And it was the locker room wasn't maybe 3 of these rooms,
right?
And you got 40 guys in the spring training roster going in, and you go in to play them, and it's like holy crap, Starting lineup, get dressed. Everybody else stand outside. These guys get dressed. I mean, it was tiny. And now you go into these places and they're so luxurious.
Oh no, they're incredible.
And you said you played in the Eastern League.
Yeah.
My goodness,
dude,
those locker rooms,
abysmal and terrible.
Did they get rid of Lynn Mass? Was that still in it?
No, it was already gone. Yeah. So when I played there,
what was that thing in Turkey where the guy got caught? Trying to sneak the drugs back in. We had one shower and we'd get in line.
What? No, I never heard of a field, even in the low minors, that only had one shower.
There was a bunch of them. There was only one working. And then the drain would clog. And you had nothing but like bench seating all around. So you had to put all your clothes up on the bench or hang them on a hook.
Right.
And then you'd get in. And since that one shower with cold water, and you get the soap,
just drizzling a little bit, get in, get out.
You hand the soap to the guy behind
you.
Go.
Holy, this is like World War II type stuff.
Like I said, I can't remember that movie. That's all.
Midnight Run.
Midnight Run. The Turkish bridge.
Turkish bridge.
Because you would just sort of like walk in a circle, and
then
you wanted to be the first couple in the shower, because if not, the shower would start. Only about that high. It'd start overflowing. So now the freaking floor of the locker room
instead of a fight at the bat rack, fight at the shower.
Yeah, 1982 Lynn Mass. Man, that was a tough place to.
No, 1982. I was playing in Oneonta. It was in the what is that? The Penn League. Yeah, New York Penn League.
Yeah.
But John Elway as my locker mate next
all right. Yeah.
I don't know if you ever told the story when you went to play in the Appalachian Mountains. Where was that place?
Oh, dude, that was the first half A league when I first signed. I went to
Racist City, league. USA. Where was that?
Man, bro, that was an experience and a half. It was 1981. I'm fresh out of 1 year at JC. And I drive up there, I was top pick with the Yanks. And
what city was it?
That was Paintsville, Kentucky.
Paintsville, Kentucky.
It's in fact, it's the area. It's a tri-county area where Loretta Lynn and her sister Crystal Gale are from.
Right.
So it's the holler. It's either the have and the have nots. You're either a coal miner. That's where they filmed. That's where they filmed Coal Miner's Daughter.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's either coal miner or you're the rich people.
They ain't seen any big brown Cubans like you.
So I'm driving up there. No, you got to purr the mouth. And
that big brown Cuban. I heard there's a big brown Cuban coming to our baseball team.
You better stay away from our girls.
They play the anthem with a banjo.
Yeah, bro. I mean, not too far from that. So I'm driving up from Bradenton, Florida, because at that time the Yankees and the Pirate City. The Yankees, the Pirates let the Yankees. It was a big ass complex, so they would send their fresh draft picks there, and I spent like a couple of weeks there, and then they would send them off to half A league, and I'm off to right there from there. I'll never forget it. Drove up. I'm driving up past Tennessee, up to Kentucky, and I'll never forget looking over, and I see a sign that says Hazard County, and I'm going, it's Duke
Luke Duke.
Yeah. I'm like, is this real? Or maybe it was just like maybe made just loosely based, and it just happened to be one of the counties I was passing. Get to Paintsville, a dry county, by the way, 3,000 people, and I get the first day is great, and meet Dom Easom, the head coach at Brevard County.
All right.
Remember, and Brevard was also good too, and all these great JCs of the state of Florida. He would just do that to make extra money, and he would coach that team for the summer. And as I'm getting in there, I meet him. Everything's good. We have our first practice. I go back to my little hotel. The next day, we have one more practice before we start the season. I'm driving. It's only like one major road. On the side of the road, it says, "Go home, Big O, KKK."
Well, at least they knew who you were.
And
They did their research.
Thanks, Joey. I appreciate that. Yeah. That was heartwarming right there. Go home, Big O, bright luck, KKK. And the day before, I was in their Gazette, the Paintsville Gazette, as Yanks top pick coming to Paintsville. Orestes Destrade from Miami, top pick, blah, blah, blah. He's our great best star.
With a picture of the big brown Cuban.
The big brown Cuban in college.
Coming to town.
At Florida Junior College in Tampa. And I'm like, dude, I'm a little stud in Paintsville, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. They love me in Kentucky. This is great. Next day, go home, Big O, KKK. So I run to the field in my car, and I get in, and I tell Coach Easom, I go, there's a sign. There's a sign. He's like, calm down, son, calm down. I'm going to get the mayor over here. They contact the mayor of the town. He comes in. He's like a little boss hog kind of dude. Hey, well, what seems to be the problem over here, son? What seems to be the problem? I say. I'm like, sir, there's a sign.
You have an artist.
You have a sign. And then he goes, pay them no mind. They're messing with you. They're probably kids. And I'm like, kids?
That's what the K stands for,
bro.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank God.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the great part of the story is at the end of the season.
Thank God I end up lead the league in home runs. We win the championship, and then they have like this party for me, and like people in the little roundabout, middle of the area are all wearing number 29 Destrade.
How about that?
Paintsville Yankee shirts, and I'm
even
like,
on the hoods?
Yes, even on the hoods. Even on the hoods. But in that little 3-month season, I was very I did,
you won them all over.
I did two things really well. I hit a baseball well, and I went back to my room really quickly.
They actually could have helped the season. It was a dry county. You couldn't go out.
Right back to the
Yeah, you couldn't have played there, Joe.
And
you couldn't have played there.
One of their girls ever came up to me for an autograph, I go, can't sign your autograph. I'm a little sorry. I do not want to mess with anybody. Yeah. I'm here to play baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Eric Plunk came out of there. Eric Plunk. Who else came out of there? Went to the big leagues. We had a couple of guys from that team. Myself, Eric Plunk.
Nothing like the minor league baseball in those small towns.
Oh my gosh,
man. It's
just nuts.
The stadiums, and it's just Bull Durham was pretty close to real, right?
Everything in Bull Durham I saw happen, not in the same year, but in
over the time.
Yes,
yeah, over a period of time. You ever run into Rocky Bridges?
Rocky.
He was a manager in the minor leagues for 30 years. Never managed the big leagues. Never did any coaching. He was like one of these and he was a caricature of like one of these old coaches from 1950s, like chewing tobacco. He's about 5'5", and I had Rocky Bridges one year in AAA, and I was like, this guy is ridiculous, old school.
I had Jim Mahoney.
Jim? I remember Jim Mahoney.
Mo was funny. The White Sox, they keep bothering me. They keep telling me I got to send in these reports. I just tell them, can play, can't play. That's all you need to know. It was great.
Can't play.
That's it.
This guy can play.
I'm throwing a game one night. I get into the 6th inning. I start developing a blister. And I think I had one hitter in after 6. I go out in the 7th inning, walk the first guy. You can't feel it.
Yeah.
Start to get the next guy 2-0. Mo comes out to the mound. I think he's going to,
take me out. Yeah.
He's going to talk me up, see how I'm doing. See if I'm okay.
Right.
Walks out and he says, Lefty, give me the ball before you really fuck up a good game.
Like,
Okay.
Go. Get out of
Sorry,
here.
can I use that on?
Yeah,
this?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
highly
yeah.
encourage it.
But
We
anyway,
highly
so
encourage
you
it.
are
But
an
that
equal
was
opportunity.
that was Mo. He didn't care. That was it. He
Those-
was straight up.
Those people are just this. I'm telling you that it actually gives you. It did me. Like this kind of extra charge when you did get up there and you remember some of the crazy stories. Okay, I don't want to experience that anymore. But then you also remember some of what the battle was for us to get there, because I don't think people realize how few people get there
And how little you make while you're training.
and back
Yeah.
then. So you I think you don't take we didn't take things for granted, and I'm not saying that the young kids do now, but it's a different trek now.
I got one more for you about Glens Falls, because this is I go to rookie ball. I go 3-1. I don't give up anything.
Right.
They call me up to AA, send me to Glens Falls.
Yeah.
Well, you used to get $600 a month.
Yeah.
So I go up to Glens Falls. I get my first check. I got to pay clubhouse dues.
Right.
Take New York State tax out.
Yeah.
I get my check. It's like
$150.
$230 for 2 weeks. That was a
Right.
2-week check.
Right.
So I get this thing, and I called the White Sox, and I said, "Send me back."
Send me back to the other league.
They said, "What, are you kidding me? You just won your first 2 games." I won my first 2 games in AA. They said, "This is a big break for you." I said, "Big break? I can't eat."
People don't realize this.
Bro, I've never heard a player say, "Send me back."
Send me back.
Hey,
You couldn't
I
afford
called them.
it.
I said, "I'm ready to go." And they said, "Joe, you can't go back.
You
This
can
is
go back.
crazy." And I said,
"You're on your way."
I said, "So what do I do? I got to pay the clubhouse guy. I got
Taxes.
rent. I got rent to pay because I'm rooming with 4 other guys." The White Sox said, "When you're at home, we'll give you a hotel room and we'll pay it, so you didn't have to pay the rent." So I called another guy, one of my buddies that was pitching on the same team, and I said, "Hey man, give me $5 a night,
and you can stay.
You can buy the drinks and the dinner that night." And then he stayed, so I got a double room.
Nice.
And that's how I made it through the last 2 or 3 months.
That's AA.
AA.
That's AA. That's the Eastern League.
Eastern League.
Studs have come out of the Eastern League.
Yeah. We had an interesting team. Joel Skinner was our catcher. Yeah, Skins.
Who was your manager when you got called up? Was it LaRussa?
Fregosi.
Fregosi.
LaRussa called me up. Fregosi was Tony. I played for Tony the first year.
You liked him?
Love Tony.
Not so much Fregosi.
Love Tony. Fregosi
was a hard ass.
He thought he knew pitching.
Yeah.
And I was, like I said, young.
Well, he was a catcher. He thought, he
well,
knew.
young and dumb. I came into spring training after having the greatest year of my life.
Right.
I mean, I just had unbelievable year. He came in, he said, "All right, Joe, we're going to change a few things." I said, "Okay,
whatever. I'm open.
I'm open. I'll do whatever, man. I want to stay in the big leagues." He goes, "We're going to change your landing foot from here. We're going to move it 6 inches to the left.
6 inches.
You're going to start throwing across your body. You're going to throw a sinker slider." And I said, "Well, just one problem. I've never thrown a slider and I've never thrown a sinker."
I'm a fastball.
What a great idea. Let's change
"No, no."
everything.
This is what you're going to do.
Right.
And once again, I want to stay in the big leagues. He's the guy who's going to keep me there. I said, "I'll try it."
Right.
I mean, I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah.
And I sucked. I mean,
Right.
They had me work out in New York, had me work out with Tommy John.
Yeah. And he threw side, he threw across.
Yeah, Tommy.
Sinker, slider.
And he used to work out by himself. He'd take out 2 tees or 2 little cones, and he'd sit on me, take out a bucket of balls. He wouldn't even bother catching. He'd just go sinker, slider.
Slider.
And
across his body.
Yeah. And he goes, "Hey, Joe, see, I said, oh, Tommy, thank you very much, but I don't
That's
throw
not
a
what
sinker.
you
I
throw.
don't throw a slider."
You were a hard throwing guy with the split.
And I just, like I said, you talked about somebody.
But you always, back then, I don't know now, but I think now, even the minor league guys all have like agents and representatives. We just did what they told us, dude. You're fearful. I had a development director Bill Livesey that I was like, "Yes, sir." You
do what they tell you.
Yeah.
And then by the time, I just forgot how to throw.
Shit.
I couldn't do anything. I mean, that year I was really bad. I mean,
But what a stupid thing to do from a
They would
organizational
do
standpoint.
weird ass things, bro.
Yeah.
They really would. They had so much autonomy that they would go around the leagues and go like, "Oh, you need to do this." They would try to change my hitting style and stuff like, and I'm like, and then thankfully I always had good hitting coaches or good managers. It was the guys that came in from the up top that would come down and go like, "You need to change this."
Because they feel like they need something to do.
Games,
yeah.
And I'm like, and then I'd go to Champ Summers, or I had Barry Foote as my manager 3 years, and Barry was phenomenal. He's like, he's leaving in 2 days. Don't worry about it, because they have rovers.
Mm-hmm.
You get back to it, you're fine. You know what I mean? So you needed a guy like that that was in your corner.
Drysdale, my favorite people ever.
Oh, tell some Drysdale stories.
Don was cool.
Oh, I would have loved to have ever met him. That guy was larger than life, right?
Oh, he was such a wonderful guy. He loved me. Oh, huge. He loved me because my father taught me 0-2. You throw at the guy's wrist, you get him off.
Your dad did?
Yeah, you go. You make sure they don't lean over, because you're throwing curveball, forkball, fastball away.
Get them off. So
my first year, that rookie ball thing, I think I hit like 12 guys in 40 innings. Drysdale loved it, but an instruction or a rookie ball.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's my guy.
You get a lot of the high school guys that they didn't play, or even some of the college guys, they didn't play JC in Miami like we did. So
right.
They weren't used to it. So they're leaning,
leaning,
rushing back. They don't get out of the way fast enough. Drysdale loved that. So, so Don would come in and he would get a pitching group together. You guys just be man, freaking knock them down and then throw that slider. And he'd get done and everybody listened, and he'd walk off. And Pasek was our pitching.
Yeah.
He'd go, all right, guys, it's wonderful, but you're not 6'6". You don't throw 95 and you don't have a nasty slider. So
let's tone it down a little bit. Like bring it back down a little bit.
Didn't Drysdale come out and take some guy out of the game because he wouldn't hit somebody?
Oh, he waited for him to finish. This guy, Old Payne Park, you walk up the runway. So Don's waiting there, and he never put a uniform. He didn't wear the uniform. He'd come out in his dress stuff and he'd wait for you outside.
Right.
So this guy's giving up line drive, home run, line drive. And this is an instructional game.
Yeah.
They leave him out there to die. So we're all sitting there, and you'd sit up that runway, you'd be, dipping.
Yeah.
Yes, and telling stories.
Just goofing around.
Don says, Gibby, come here. Gibby grabs him. What the? They're taking food off your table. They're taking money out of your pocket. Be a man. Drop somebody. Hit somebody. What up? And we're all standing there, and now Don's got him, and we're all like, we're laughing.
In his face.
Oh, we were in his face. Grabbed
him.
And just like, and it was like, holy crap. And I'm standing, and we're all laughing. All of a sudden, you half the dip, you swallow. You're going, and you're trying to disappear. The room's only this big, and you're trying to get the hell out of there.
I don't want to laugh in front of Don.
What a wonderful man, though. I really.
There's guys like that, man, and then I had two that are not just old school, but they were so impactful, to me. The right guys, right?
Yeah.
That push. Barry Foote was the epitome of that for me, and he was old school catcher, but knew that there was a nuance of the new school that you needed to kind of also lean into in the progressiveness. But those guys were hard, man. Those guys were hard, but you learned a lot.
Oh yeah,
and you learned a lot. Yeah,
like I said,
LaRusso was good for you.
Tony was magnificent.
Yeah, I remember. I got to interview him numerous times after I retired and became a broadcaster for ESPN and XM mostly on the radio. And every time I would interview him, I just loved his presence, man. The dude would be like, his chest would be out, and he would just talk to you sternly and give you straight up answers. And it just seemed like, what a leader.
And he would address you.
Yes.
He wouldn't. You never read anything in a paper about anybody in a team,
right? Except
for positive stuff,
right?
And if he had something to say to you, he'd say it to you. And he was I am sure he stayed that way his whole career.
We were talking about it before the show we started about the importance of how leadership in whatever sport, right? I mean, not to that matter in life and business and stuff, but I wanted you to share with that because I think it's so impactful.
Well, a great leadership starts with authenticity,
right?
And when the fakes, and you guys know when you get coaches that are fakes and they're phonies and it's obvious. And it's the authentic guys who build true relationships with you that can look you in the eye and say, hey, you suck right now.
Yeah.
And you don't take it in a bad way. You take in constructive criticism, and it's a positive interaction. Whereas, if you don't have that, you're mistrustful of the person, and it's just that's not leadership. And everybody on the team knows it. Yeah. Everybody on the team knows it. You can't trust the guy. and it's a disaster. And that's why La Russa was so.
Yeah, I was very lucky. The White Sox had Bob. I don't know if you remember, Bobby Winkles was the minor league director.
I remember Bobby Winkles. I never really got to meet him, but I knew.
I don't think Bobby said a word in his life that was ever not true. I mean, if he had something to say to you,
seriously,
he'd walk up to you, and you might not like it.
Yeah, you might not like it.
And he'd tell guys they weren't good enough.
Right.
Son, somebody else might think you're good enough, but I don't. So you're not with us anymore.
Right.
Or you can finish out the season if you'd like, but if you'd like, I can get rid of you and you go chase it. And then I went to John Bowles. John's the same way.
Yeah. John Bowles, man.
John straight up.
Powerful.
Tell you, and everything's straight
he was no
up.
nonsense, bro.
Exactly. And then I went from, I played for John, A ball, double A, triple.
Really?
And even in Venezuela.
I was very impressed. I always been impressed with John Bowles, man.
Even in Venezuela, he coached there one year in Caracas. I played for him there. And then I go to the big leagues and I get Tony. I mean, I was spoiled my first 4 years. I got guys that were, I'll be honest, I didn't handle it well when I got somebody who was like,
that's funny. No, but I'm going to tell you something, because we also were talking about that of the leadership being alpha or beta, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, in the sport that we played, how often we were together, because I'm not denying that hockey and football and
baseball's different.
It's so different, dude, because most of the days in those other sports, you're practicing. Yeah. You're not playing. Every day for us, other than spring training, we're playing, right? And we're
traveling together
and traveling
all the time.
And every game matters, because if you're just practicing, it doesn't matter, right? But the talk a little bit, because I know my influence of the different teams that I played for, from here to Japan, of the leadership took on the clubhouse, good, bad, or indifferent.
Oh yeah.
So when you walk into a Joe Torre, clubhouse, everybody's kind of getting along. Walking like early, I'll be honest, and Lou will tell you this himself, and I love Lou, but early '87 Lou was polarizing. You know what I mean? The team was fragmented in the clubhouse. But how important, because we spend so much time together, that you either bring them together and unify, or they're going a million different directions.
Yeah, and it's like I said, I look back at mostly at myself, and I'd be honest, I was young and dumb. Like I said, I didn't handle it very well because I didn't understand it. I'm like, if you got something to say, tell me.
Right.
Why am I, or what am I doing to where I'm screwing up? And then I was that bad, and I went, oh my God, yeah, they got to get rid of me.
Yeah.
But it started long before that, because I'd never experienced it. Like I said, I was lucky enough to do those first 4 years, and my college coach, my goodness, he was Doc Maneri.
Yeah, Doc was a legendary.
Everybody I'd ever dealt with, that was straight up. So
you couldn't get much more than Doc, man. Doc was like, I never played for him, but through Paul, I got to know him, because Paul and I are still very dear friends, and the stories I would hear about Doc.
We had a tryout one time, and there was this kid. He looked the part, and he came out.
Had the deal, had the wristbands.
Oh man, everything matched.
Had to be a Cuban kid. Had to be a Cuban. He was a Cuban kid, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Because
you got to look good. You got to look good.
His equipment was, nice. Top of the line.
The shoes were on point.
Yeah, Doc gets off the thing, and kid, you're not going to make it. Got to give me another shot. Get another shot. Doc goes, get that kid off my field. I don't have enough insurance to cover his ass. And I'm like, uh-oh. I was 18 years old, just going into my first year at JC. I was like,
this guy means business.
Scared the shit out of me.
He probably went to Columbus.
I got to do some business here. Our great sponsors, Texas Roadhouse, Wesley Chapel. If you're in the mood for a great steak, just food in general, they got all kinds of stuff on the menu. They run it better than anybody. But the ribeye there and the loaded baked potato and the house salad for under $30 is the best you'll ever get. It's fantastic.
If you're looking for a great restaurant, I think three things come into mind. Location, obviously, and that's very well located over there right off of Highway 456. Service, impeccable. And then how good is the product?
The product is fantastic. Hand-cut steaks. They got a butcher right there, and every one of them. Fantastic. And that's Texas Roadhouse, Wesley Chapel, right off of 56. Fantastic. Kingmakers, Tampa, where we are right here. Do you like our little spot here?
Right.
Like our little, nice little
bar.
Yeah.
He's looking for a Guinness after the show.
Yes,
I know he is.
absolutely. Yeah.
We're gonna drop one for him.
So KingmakersTampa.com if you'd like to become a member, and Murphy Auto Group, Genesis of Tampa, where I bought my Genesis. They just did my valet service yesterday.
Saw that.
Austin came, picked up my car. We did a show. By the time we were done, he brought the car back to
personally.
me. Never had to, personally.
That's called concierge service.
Concierge service. That's the way they do it at Genesis of Tampa, and I got a great deal on the car.
And then there's also in Haines City, if you're up that way, go to Orlando or in the Polk County area, you got Miracle Toyota. Phenomenal, number one in the area in the southeast as far as Toyota dealership. And ask for Fahad, their general manager, and tell him Big O sent you.
That Tundra that you drive is
fantastic. I love my Tundra. Get out my way.
Fantastic. All right, so
and let's not forget our new new add-on.
Lily Lux rescreen.
Lily Lux rescreen.
Got my notes right here.
Yeah, Amy D.
Amy D from Lily Lux rescreen. If your cage is getting a little worn over your pool, tired, they'll bring it back to life better than new. They'll do the complete rescreen or they'll do a repair, whatever you need. The thing about it is they do the job right, and they do it with care like it's their very own. Woman-owned and operated business, hands-on ownership, not an absentee franchisee. These people really care about their work. So go to lilyluxrescreen.com. That's LILY, Lux, LUXE, rescreen.com. 813-447-0431. So if you've been thinking about doing an upgrade or just getting it fixed, this is where you go. lilyluxscreen.com. Tell them you heard it on the Big O Show, and they'll give you
and Amy D is great. She's a sports fan. Oh, by the way, former teacher. So this is, let's support our local businesses very well, and another one that gives great service.
Give her the business about the Bucks beating Philly.
Hello, she is from Philly.
Yeah, baby.
In fact, he texted me yesterday and says, they stole that home run title, the home run derby from my boy
Schwaba.
And I'm like, I don't know, but it was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, that was a great All-Star game. Great. I didn't even know. I wasn't watching the whole thing, but there was a pregame thing that they did with the Sandlot. Have you seen this? And Ray Charles doing "America the Beautiful," and the fireworks going off. It was part of the pregame. And they had the guys from the Sandlot. Then they kind of redid it, and they're all on their bikes going to the field.
Oh yeah. I did see
and they had
kids on the bikes.
I get chills thinking about it. I retweeted it on Twitter. If you haven't seen it, it's about 5 minutes. And it's Ray Charles doing "America the Beautiful," and the whole all these iconic images of baseball past. Oh, it is absolutely terrifically done. So go check that out. Any other baseball stuff you want to get to today?
More. I did what because
the show does watch baseball these days. He has plenty of opinions on it.
And he lives in Belgium and mostly. And first of all, I did want to ask because you and I were texting back and forth as we often do after the shows and stuff. Any Barry Bonds stories that you come across, Barry?
Couple that, but I'll tell the one in Venezuela. He was down there, and he came. You
guys played winter ball in Venezuela against each other.
Yeah, against each other, and he was always complaining. He was always.
Can you imagine?
Something, the food, the this, the that, the umpires.
He gets up, and I throw him. I was 1-1 count. I throw him a forkball in the outside corner, and he bitching and complaining. It was right there. He's bitching and complaining, and the umpire just said, "Time out." He rubbed up the ball, and he walked out to him, and he flipped it to him, and he said, "Anywhere close." And I went, "Okay."
Seriously. Literally told you that.
He said, "Anywhere close." And I
never have heard that in my life.
Shook off. I stepped off the rubber. I called a catch out, and I go, "Set up about 6 inches outside."
It's good. We got this.
And rung him up, and he was pissed. I'm like,
So that happens.
That doesn't.
That's the only time.
Listen.
That's the only time it ever happened to me. But that was winter ball.
Yeah.
And I used to.
Here's the thing, especially in winter ball, I've heard of that happen, but the umpire says it to the catcher.
Yeah.
Right. He'll whisper it or something like that, and the catcher's come back and told me, "Dude, the umpire just said just throw it anywhere." So I just set up and and I kind of went like up here and whatever, but I've never heard him go out to the ground.
I was shocked. I'm like,
anywhere close.
What's he coming out to me for?
Yeah.
I'm standing on the mound. I'm like, I'm not the one arguing.
Right.
And he's rubbing up the ball. And
Anywhere
he looks like he's gonna
close.
talk to me. Anywhere close. Whoa.
BB was something else because I got to play, with him in locker next to him for a season, and he was just incredible.
I did not know that story about the Sid Bream play.
Yeah.
It's second year in a row, Pirates and Braves,
Correct.
Game 7,
Correct.
2 outs, and Bream's on second.
Francisco Cabrera
Cabrera's at the bat. And Van Slyke and Bonds, you pick up the story from here.
So Slick, as we called him, Van Slyke, incredible center fielder, and one of the best left fielders, in the history of baseball, and Bonds, but they didn't like each other. And so he was always, the general should be like the shortstop in the infield, the catcher is the main general, but in center field, those guys are get over, move in, and he knew that Francisco was not like a power hitter. He was a singles hitter, light hitting guy, and he was pushing him forward. And he knew that if a base hit's hit, we got a chance on Bream with the leg brace.
Yeah.
And Barry literally waved him off, like physically. He was like,
wouldn't move in,
bullet.
Don't tell me how to play.
And bang, play. There goes the series. And they hated each other. And there's another story before that in '88 where all season long, they're just jawing back and forth because Slick had a difficult personality too. He came from the Cardinals, but he was not an easy to get along with guy at times. You know what I mean? I think that the team in general loved him because he was such a hard-nosed player, right? He wasn't the best, hitter, but he played hard as shit. And then Barry, things just came natural to Barry, so easy to Barry. It looked like sometimes that he wasn't trying. But I got to know him really well. We stayed friends. He was trying. It's just, things at that level.
Oh, he was above. And
he was above. And if I looked at Barry and I got the chance to play alongside Winfield, Mattingly, Ricky Henderson, against Boggs, against some of these, the legendary players, right? Yeah. Even Griffey Jr. when he first came up. But there was nobody, I can't say, I think he's the greatest hitter in the last 50 years. But sometimes he just looked like he wasn't trying. When he really wanted to try, it's Jordan-esque. So he would have those things, and our team in general, especially the pitchers, didn't like him because they thought that his effort, could have been better at times.
Yeah.
This is 23-year-old Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
Incredible player. So after BP one time, him and Slick were just jawing back and forth during BP. They get in the clubhouse. This is the strangest thing. I've been in part of many fights in clubhouses with players from minor leagues to big leagues where they just don't like each other, right?
Yeah.
The weirdest one ever. They go in, they're going at it. They're about to go throw punches. I forget who throws the first punch. All the pitchers are in because this is for, this BP, so they're not out already. They hold Barry. Like 3 or 4 guys hold Barry. Nobody holds Slick.
Oh.
He smokes them a couple of times. And I'm like sitting there. I just come in and I'm like I'm like, this is not fair.
Yeah.
Until the little general walked in from his office, Skip Leland. And what the hell's going on here? Smoking a cigarette. And everybody, because when that guy walked in a room at 5'6", everybody went, and he goes, Barry, Slick, get in my office. But I'll never forget that they held Barry.
Oh my
and they
God!
Didn't hold Slick.
Yeah, he didn't endear himself to many of his teammates.
That's misunderstood. Sure. I love Barry.
Didn't get to know him very well.
No, I did.
I know that he could when he was playing. Man, when he was good. He was real good.
It's just on otherworldly, bro.
And then
a true 5-tool. They use 5-tool players loosely.
Yeah.
The true 5-tool players in the history that I think of baseball are in the era that I know of, right? 60s and beyond. Is Mays, it's Mantle, it's Hank Aaron until he got a little older and he stopped running. But if you really look at Aaron, Aaron had 240 stolen bases.
Big time. Yeah.
So you don't realize what an athlete Aaron was until he got a little heavier and they said just hit 40 home runs a year. Mays, Mantle, Aaron. Tell me who else was a true 5-tool player. I mean, Griffey Jr., I'll put him up there, but he's below in my ranks. And then it's Barry.
I would have liked to seen Griffey Jr. without when he was still.
Because he got hurt.
He got hurt. That hamstring.
He got hamstring, and he never was the same.
He was one of the best.
No, he was incredible.
And who would have been, but also got hurt was Bo.
Bo's at another athletic level.
He was.
I think
Did you ever play with him?
Played against
him
when he was with Kansas
City.
Right. And then a lot of the guys were upset when Bo first came on. They're like, "Oh, can you believe how much money he's making?" I'm like, "Well, look, in Kansas City, we
always
used
another
to
level.
Well, we used to play in front of 12,000, and today there's 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bo.
Stop right there.
It's because he's here,
Right.
and he was a nice guy, really, really good guy. Well, he still haven't met him to where I sit down and talk to him, but he's got a business with John.
Well, Johnny,
Cangelosi.
Johnny and I go way back since high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Johnny played at a rival high school of mine. And then we played together with the Pirates.
Yeah.
Johnny C is my boy, man. He went to Miami Springs High and I went to Columbus. But him and Bo have a school deal,
Yeah, outside of Chicago,
like a D1
yeah.
right outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
They've invited me up there a few times, but yeah, Bo's a really wonderful human being. And yeah, I mean, that's another level.
He was a freak of nature, man.
That's
That guy
Herschel
was,
Walker level of
gosh.
athleticism. You
Yes.
know?
I saw him play football in person at Auburn and just destroy Florida State. Yeah, I saw him go 98 yards and just run over 3 people and then out sprint everybody to the end zone. And then I saw the most impressive thing I ever saw was when he came to the FAMU relays in Tallahassee. When I was as an intern. They said, go out there. They heard there's a sprinter guy that's out there running track. This dude in his tank top, white beater, whatever, just muscles coming out of everywhere. And you got all these little sprinters next to him, And I'm like, well, what is he going to finish 7th? And I'm at the end, and I'm filming him and he's coming at me. He comes out of the blocks and, everything's, but they're about the same at about 20 and about 20 yards. Bo just goes into another gear, and all you see is just muscles coming at you, the legs, and it's like blinding speed. you're like, holy shit, what is this? Freight train. And I'm like, this is track.
Yeah.
Like, what if you were the free safety that had to tackle that?
Oh,
you ain't.
Ask Brian Boswell.
You ain't.
Yeah, exactly.
You ain't.
So they used to invite from all over for those FAMU
relays?
Yeah. So you came from all over.
It was a big meet.
Okay.
The fastest kids in the South would come, and Bo was there, and he just blew everybody away.
Yeah, no, those guys.
He could have been an Olympic sprinter if he put his mind to it.
Barry is in another world, bro, and just otherworldly ball player. Did everything well, and I'm telling you right now, with the arm that he had, if he wanted to just get on the mound and pitch, he probably, because he was so athletic and smart, really knows the game.
Yeah.
He could have been a pitcher too. So, so go figure.
All right. Sorry, guys. We have a lot of comments. Rick, you were really good today. Everybody,
Rick's always good.
He's always good.
Good to see
Rick
him.
says JP was all pro in 5th grade. He was Bo Jackson. No, not quite. Danny Boy wanted to.
He was really, Rick, he was more like Bo Derek. I think is what
I was a 10.
No.
I was a 10. My girlfriend was a 10. Girlfriend. She was a 10.
Danny McManus was his backup, and Miss Florida, John dumped her.
Yeah, I did. That's true.
I saw when
dump's a harsh word. Joe, that's a harsh word.
Went a different direction.
Yeah, went a different direction. Well, that's politically
We're going to
correct.
go a different direction. I got 5 years. I got 5 years that turned into 14 in Tallahassee, and I said,
looked up on
I love you,
Google,
babe,
like,
but
this girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my girl.
One of my many bad choices in life. Danny Boy wanted to know if you played with Mark McGuire in '98. He did. You did not.
Yeah.
You just did. He ever hit a home run off you, McGuire?
No, didn't face him.
Yeah,
that's the best
Thank
way.
God.
To
Yeah.
give one
Thank God,
up.
the best way not to not
Rick
get
says the JP ignored his manager and gets benched. He walks into the dugout yelling, "Do you know who the hell I am?" One of my finest hours.
But you got it. But you got to hit anyway. As a hitter,
Man, a manager took out the only player that got a hit off McEwen in the game. So how good of a manager was he?
Hit, I'm happy.
Yeah. All right, let's just we'll deal with the rest of this stuff next
Good
week.
stuff,
It's Ray stuff. So
yeah, sorry we didn't hit on some of those. We had a really cool guys here and great.
I knew
great
just
stories.
getting you two together
Great
to talk
stories.
baseball and
From
just
minor
talk
league to
stories
major
was going to
leagues.
be fun.
It is.
So
The beauty of baseball, and again, I think the people that are truly passionate about it, and we have a lot of Petermans that are passionate about it, is, and I think Joe, you'll agree, it's not only the length of the season, but the minor leagues. There's nothing like that to try to get to. It's like going for your PhD. You got to fight through it, right? And go those extra years. Then when you get that PhD, you're like, dude, you're a doctor. That's the battle. And so many don't get there. We're very lucky to have gotten, that taste. but the stories galore. I think even the superstars, the Derek Jeter and the other
the characters, the stories.
No, they tell you, I remember so-and-so that didn't make it, but what a great story that guy was. It's the beauty of baseball. I don't think there's any other sport that has that dichotomy of the growth level of being 18, 20, 21, 22 and going through this rite of passage, if you will, that is the minor leagues.
People don't realize what a small percentage.
Yeah, to get to the show.
Because what is there? There's 25, 30
teams, 25 roster, now 26, so 750 plus guys that are only playing.
Yeah, and not every one of them leave every year, so you only got about 100 spots every year. So you got all these other guys going for 100 spots. And now most of them come out of Japan, Dominican.
So, the U.S. like bracket of talent, it's
shrinking.
And what I'm doing now is I'm trying to bring Belgium into it.
I know you are, man. I know you are.
So if anybody's going to Europe and they want to see baseball in the summer, you got to look that up. Not many people could say they did that.
That's right, buddy.
No.
Yeah.
And baseball, I went over there and saw it many years, 30 years ago in the 90s. And they have these really cool fields and there's really no stands. Everybody just watches from the cantina because that's how they make their money.
Right.
I don't know if it's changed now, but it's everybody's. That's where they drink all the.
The cantina is bigger and the field's bigger, but that's about it.
Yeah. And that's how they do it.
That's sweet.
Kind of cool. Yeah, it's interesting. But Europe is untapped in terms of baseball players. We're starting to get a few over. They're starting to play in the international events. But so. Any teams out there, the Rays, if you're looking, if you need a scout in Europe, here's your guy right here.
That's the guy. I'm at all the games. So
there you go.
Especially some pitchers. Those are always wanted.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We will be doing a special show tomorrow on the stadium, the JP show. So we're hoping to line up a couple of guests for that. So
set the record straight.
We're going to get an update because we're getting close. We're getting close to those final votes, and I think they're coming up soon. So we will do that tomorrow on the JP show.
Yeah.
So
they start their series tomorrow against the Boston Redhots. Let's go ahead and just stop that 9-game streak and put them back in their place.
Junior scheduled to play.
Junior scheduled to play.
I don't know if he's going to play in both. He wants to play in a doubleheader, but we'll see.
Griffin Jacks is slated to, I think, start the first game, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, what a treat for me to bring you two together. My long friend in baseball, and then just watching you get to the major league shows, one of the great, just experiences of my life. Watching your best friend play at Yankee Stadium was pretty cool, and I get to hang out with this guy and do shows, and bring you two together was pretty fun for me. So thank you guys for allowing me to do that today. That was really fun. Enjoyed it. All right, well, let's go have a few beers at Riveters and tell some really good stories.
You got it, man. Stay tranquil and tropical, everybody.